Hey everyone! Is your lead score telling you the whole story or just part of it? Welcome back to Zoom In. Today we're leveling up your qualification game with conditional lead scoring. So a lead shouldn't get 50 points for just being a CEO. They should get 50 points because they're the CEO at a tech company with a decision maker role. So until now, that required complex workflows or messy lists because we tried to combine two or more property values in a specific score. And so today we're showing you how to use the AND logic directly in the scoring tool to find your true MQLs. Quick prerequisite, make sure that you have HubSpot Professional or Enterprise Marketing or Sales Hub, as well as access to the lead scoring tool in HubSpot. Okay, let's get started. All right, so first you want to go to Marketing and then lead scoring. You want to create score, and then you can choose, in this case, contacts as well as a combined score. Click on Create. So first, we're going to add the property group. So using our example here, we're going to talk about job title plus buying role, for instance. So what we're going to do is expand, and then we're going to add our criteria. So we're going to add the object here. And this is where it gets interesting. There's the new add condition rule. So what we could do is select the job title property is equal to any of CEO, let's say. And then you want to add another condition. So you're going to select, let's say, buying role. And we're going to add a third criteria. Again, we don't have to, but we can in this example, called industry. And so that makes up our first property criteria. What you want to do next is make sure that you add or subtract points. In this case, we're going to add 50 points. What we can do next is add, for example, an event group. And so for this specific example, we're going to add a marketing email. Click on add event criteria, search for, let's say, email, then you select the event. So let's say emails clicked. So click link in email. That's great. And then what you're going to want to do is click on those advanced filters. And then again, you want to set an additional criteria if they clicked on a specific URL. So we're going to go with original URL. Contains any of, let's call it tour-2026, as that's the URL we're using for this. You can also add a time frame, which is really interesting because if you add a time frame, then you get to decide, let's say, if they've done this in the last, let's say, 90 days. And then you can also add a frequency. So if they click in that link in the email, for example, at least once in the last 90 days, then you can give it an accurate score. For example, in this case, 10 points. So again, not all clicks are created equal. With conditional scoring, you can award points only to the leads that click, for example, a high intent link with a specific campaign or a specific email. So this filters out the curious clickers and highlights the people who are actually evaluating your solution right now. Next steps, you want to add a title. So make sure to add a title to your lead score. So sample lead score, and then you can test a contact or you can preview the distribution. Let's go with preview distribution. So this is great because it gives us a quick preview based on the data that we have in our current portal, the average combined score, the eligible contacts, as well as the sample size. It shows us both the combined, so actually 3 types of scores. So the combined score, the fit only score, and then the engagement score. You can also click test a contact to test a specific contact. So let's go with, for example, Alexander Johnson. Matches criteria 0 of 2. So no fit there. What about if we go click on Michael Chen? Again, no fit, and so on. So there can be contacts that fit. You want to move along to the contacts tab just to choose the contacts you would like to score. So you can score on all your contacts, or you can decide to score a specific segment or a specific list of contacts, which you can choose here. And then lastly, for the settings, you want to make sure that your different property labels are set. And then for the settings, we have the fit score value that creates a property for this specific fit score. You can also edit the score limit. Same thing for the engagement score. And then the total score value, which is the combined score value, the property label, as well as the limit that you can set. Thresholds are also important and especially useful in workflows if you want to use them. For the score settings, you would have 3 values. So the fit, the engagement, and the total score, or the combined score. All 3 would have their own properties as well as their own score limits that you can set. And if you scroll down, you have the threshold. So this is an interesting one because you would want to use this, for example, in a workflow or a report. So again, these are determined by your score limits. So they're not editable here because they are determined a bit higher here with your different score limits. But they do give you a great visibility on the level of fit and the level of engagement for each of those contacts. So to quickly recap, make sure to layer your criteria, specify your events, and simplify your portal. With conditional scoring, we can get a more accurate value for the fit, the engagement, or the combined score of a specific contact, company, or deal. And remember that building a custom scoring model is one of the most highest impact things you can do for your sales team, as well as your marketing team and operations. So if you want a smart bug expert to audit your current lead score or help you implement this new and logic, let's talk. Happy scoring. See you next time.
Thank you for watching.